Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Managing Director, National Enterprise Corporation, Generals present, the Chief Executive Officer of ProHeli, the Deputy Director of National Aviation Service Corporation, staff of NEC and ProHeli here present, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I'm Brigadier General David Gonyi, the Chief of Staff of Air Force. Your Excellency, allow me to join the previous speakers on behalf of the Command Air Force to thank you very much for your visionary leadership, the guidance, continuous guidance that you give to us, and being our only planner for strategic issues of this country and the forces. Your Excellency, your foresightedness in bringing this facility in this country has had and will continue to have tremendous impact on the capacity and capability enhancement of the UPDF Air Forces. Sir, the war that was started, occasioned by some members of the Community of Nations who still believe in an outdated expansionist theory, has had adverse effects not only to the countries that operate the Russian Federation equipment, but the global economy. Afande Mugira had outlined many of the advantages that we get out of ProHeli and the services that they provide to the UPDF Air Forces. I would like to reemphasize some of them and also add others. On the issue of the turnaround time, Air Forces has been overhauling helicopters, and it would take about 2 years minimum. And like the MD NEC told us, 1 year and 3 months would be a record time for the first time. So I want to believe that the follow-up helicopters may be done in less than 1 year. It also gives a greater advantage, Your Excellency, especially because the machines, like human beings, sometimes even after overhaul, they develop technical issues in small equipments. Now, because ProHeli is within, it gives us time, short time, with no cost of transport, of freight, of shipment, to get these equipments back here and have them sorted out in the shortest time possible and get our machines back on the road or in the air. Your Excellency, to be specific, we have also benefited. We have 18, there were 19. May he so rest in peace, one of them passed on. But 18 staff of the UPDF Air Forces that have worked with ProHeli in overhauling the helicopter that you commissioned this morning. We also intend to use the facility for industrial training of our trainees from the Uganda Air Force College, which is housed here in Nakasongola. And because we have our staff, Your Excellency, being part of the overhaul, we have no doubt that the equipment used and the tools for overhaul are genuine and have all been done according to the documentation that they will provide. Their being here, Your Excellency, has also already aided us. I can report that they lent us, we are able to borrow from one another. As we speak now, they lent us a ground power unit, which we use in starting aircrafts in the Air Forces. So we appreciate that, ProHeli, for being very supportive partners. Those are specific to us as the Air Forces. But Your Excellency, this facility, among others, supports the industrialization policy as well as supporting the economy, especially if they open up the market to the other people, clients who require the services. And in that way, we believe the numbers of employment of Ugandans, which you always urge us to do, will be attained. We believe that with this facility here, Your Excellency, we shall have our serviceability in the Air Forces increased and availability of platforms to perform the duties that the Air Force is entrusted to do will be there in terms of combat readiness. I'm happy to hear from the CEO of ProHeli, Your Excellency, that they are manufacturing or they are designing with intention to manufacture avionics, especially in the element of protection of the air assets. Your Excellency, given the changing nature of the threat environment, there is need to improve on the security of the aircrafts and also urgently to develop capacity in form of the required technologies and the skilling of our human resources so as to operate both day and night and in all weather circumstances. Your Excellency, this morning, before you came in, we had got details that the aircraft you have commissioned has been prepared to operate both day and night. Our responsibility to ensure that we prepare the human resources and the other equipment that we have to be able to operate in the same manner, because the threat does not only operate when we desire it to be. There is also need, Your Excellency, to improve our general serviceability and improvement in technology acquisition in order to match the prevailing security landscape. But to achieve this, Your Excellency, we shall come to you as usual to request your support in terms of the budget enhancement, because whereas Madam Permanent Secretary may be sighing with some kind of relief that we shall not be asking her for tickets, fee for visas, and the other requirements, per diem and the rest for pre-shipment and other inspections, the bigger issue of putting the Air Force to the levels that are required within the threat environment remains real. This aircraft, Your Excellency, we are ready to employ it to support the ongoing operations, both against the commercial cattle rustling as well as other operations against the terrorists in the region. To also extend our sincere thanks on behalf of the Commander Air Force to the Ministry of Defense and the CDF at the Joint Service Headquarters for the continued support that you give to us as the Air Forces. And also to thank Afande Mujira specifically for continuing to take His Excellency's guidance to be able to pretend on the new innovations and the capacity building of the UPDF, which is being championed under NEC.